Bom dia, gente. Espero que você tenha ótimo dia. This is your man Larry, the American Brazilian, saying good morning to everyone. Listen, I just wanted to jump on really quick. I'll try to make this under 10 minutes as much as I possibly can. And I wanted to briefly talk about everything concerning the passport bros movement. And it appears as though it's like a reinsurgent, if you will, of things being brought to the forefront, specifically with what happened to Brother Austin. And then, of course, everybody's basically making a whole bunch of little shorts and things like that on TikTok, which I'm not on TikTok. I just kind of stick to a few social medias, some things that I think that, has degree of relevance to my life. But anyway, so I want to talk about a few things. Number one, I think they missed the point, and it appears as though they use their own talking points on why brothers actually travel. Now, initially, we know that for men, we're visually stimulated, right? So when we see a beautiful woman, that's something that kind of gets our attention. So yes, there are situations where brothers are saying, look, there are better options. Not that the options here, that there aren't any options in a sense of that all the women are bad here. I don't think anybody says that nor believes that. However, what a lot of brothers are saying is, look, the options are better elsewhere. So, and they're more plenteous. And so we're going elsewhere to discover the options that we know that exist. And some brothers are quite frankly being, persuaded based on, videos like these that they're seeing on YouTube. I was on a panel last night, with Pablo Frescobar, and he had a open mic type situation. And so brothers kind of came to express their views on travel and a myriad of issues, as well as Art New Style. I didn't get on that panel, but it was good nonetheless. I think he had BGS, Edward Anderson, and a whole host of other guys who are very talented content creators. But anyway, when I thought about, because it's like, I don't know about you guys, but it's like the timelines are being bombarded, seemingly on all platforms, by either women who are spewing vitriol and using sign language, shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, RIP, to come against who they feel are against them. And quite frankly, brothers are just kind of defending themselves. And what I found interesting, something that O'Shea shared, there's a couple of Caucasian brothers who are now also getting involved in the movement, saying, look, you guys are right. We thought you guys were just, capping, a millennial term, right? Millennial, anyway. But now we see it for ourselves. And so everybody can't be lying. And so I thought about a few things that I just want to touch on briefly. And that was number one. It appears as though, and this is something coming from like the old Baptist church, like they used to have these three things that they say about sin. They say sin keeps you longer than you're willing to stay, takes you further than you want to go, and charges you more than you're willing to pay. And of course, I'm not saying that to advocate, pay for play. I don't agree with that. I don't judge anybody who do, but not my thing. Anyway, I think being in this country and other places where that whole feminist mindset is kind of catered to, not kind of, but it is catered to. Brothers have, I wouldn't even say brothers, because again, they're more than just black guys in the movement. There's all shades, colors, ethnicities. There's everybody now that are getting on board because they see what everybody else has been saying that is actually true. And so I think they've come to the realization where attempting to have some form of relationship in this country, it charges them more than they're willing to pay. People are talking about going on dates and how, $200 and $300 dates, and which I believe is ridiculous. Not that I've never done it, but it's like when you think about it now in the times we're living in, why would you do that? Anyway, it keeps you longer than you're willing to stay. What do you mean by that? You know that things aren't working, but for some reason you feel like you want to. There's a term, sunken cost. I'm sure many of you guys have heard that sunken cost, where the more, things are depleting, but you feel like the more you invest, things will get better. And ultimately you lose everything because you are putting your money into something that's like a stock. You buy it at $10, it falls to $8, you feel like you buy more. It falls to $6, you feel like you buy more, and then ultimately it tanks. and you spent all of your money and with no progress. So it charges people more than they're willing to pay. And it takes people further than they're willing to go. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of times people, there's a saying, pay more attention to who wants you than who you want. Because a lot of times who you want will kind of, it'll change who you are as an individual. It'll cause you to compromise your integrity and do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do for somebody you feel like you want, as opposed to somebody who wants you. People who want you, there's a flow, there's a rhythm, there's an ease that goes along with that, opposed to just clamoring and going after somebody that you want. And I'm not saying that, I mean, it's not wrong to want anybody, but just make sure that it's reciprocal. Make sure that they feel the same way, because a lot of times here, if it's just somebody that you want, not all the time, but oftentimes, then you're acquiescent to these people doing things that you wouldn't ordinarily do, compromising your integrity to get them, and whatever you compromise to attain or to maintain or to obtain or maintain, you will eventually lose anyway. So a lot of people are involved in those three aspects of being here. And now what a lot of people are saying right now is, well, why you guys are just going back and forth? And what you have to realize is this: oftentimes when you hear people like Dennis Sperling, shout out to brother Dennis Sperling, and other brothers who are making a rebuttal, giving a rebuttal, it's a rebuttal. It's based on what people are saying. I have been saying for a long time. See, here's the thing. For a long time, brothers have been kind of quiet. It's not that we didn't. One could argue we didn't have a voice, but the thing about it is, it's where our voices were being heard in barbershops and just kind of closed situations like that, where it was just amongst men. But now, with these social media platforms, brothers are saying, you know what, forget that. I am going to say exactly how I feel and what I believe is the solution. And for many, it's travel. Well, now it's a situation where we can kind of like take a back seat from the rebuttals, because I saw a couple of videos where foreign women are defending themselves, because of course, a lot of women over here have the talking point, well, these women are poor, they're uneducated, some slang that they call barefoot, something like that. But what they don't realize is, in many cases, the education in these places are tantamount here. And every place is not a third world country. And then you even have to, which is a video for another time, why are countries rated first, second, and third? But I know for Brazil, it's not third world, so it's a second world country. And if you've ever gone, or if you ever go, you won't lack anything. You won't miss anything. So I digress. But yeah, so I would just say that's kind of what's happening now. These women are standing up for themselves, rightfully so, and even with going back to the brothers, the rebuttals that were given and that are being given is a situation where it's like, look, it's like the bully that picks on you for years and years and years, or months and months and months. And you get to the point where you say, you know what? I need to say something. I am tired of being picked on. I need to stand up for myself. So that's what you're seeing. I believe things are going to be fine. I think at some point we have to change the channel. And what I mean by that is, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really argue at the television. So if I'm seeing something that I don't like, I just change the channel. Even on YouTube, if I see something that I'm not interested in, I keep scrolling until I find something that I am. So in other words, it's kind of like your parents say, just ignore them. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point we're going to have to, because there's going to be a whole lot of back and forth and it's going to be unproductive. But what I will say is this: everybody can't be wrong. Everybody can't be lying. Everybody can't be deceived or misled, as they're calling us. I believe that there is a lot of truth to what we're saying. And here's the thing. Everybody doesn't travel for the same reason. Everybody doesn't go overseas for women only. Some people, they really want to be in long-term relationships. Some people say, well, you know what? I'm not with marriage, but I want to, be with somebody that I can depend on and that can depend on me and I just want one person. Some people want that. Some people just want to date, and then some people, they are involved in that pay for play thing. But of course, again, I'm not with it. I don't judge people. I don't advocate for people to do that, but I don't judge people to do. But then there are people who say, you know what? I want marriage. I want this one person that I can say that is mine, which that's kind of tantamount to a long-term relationship. It's just without all of the legalities. But overall, all of those reasons, all of those guys who have those reasons for travel, they all experience a lot of different things. And what's that? They realize the culture is better. They realize the food is better. They realize the vibe is better. They realize the people are friendly. And they realize that the stress associated with the hustle and bustle of where we are is not really existent in these places where we go. So it's the culture a lot of times that we embrace, that we love, that kind of sticks in our soul, that we just gravitate to and hold on for dear life. So don't just think that people are traveling for women. That might be the draw, but that's not the keeper. It's kind of like the thing, you got to get something to draw people, but it takes more than what draws a person to keep a person. So I think that I know that it's the travel. I'm the culture. I know that it's the vibe. I know that it's the lack of the stress that associated here. Obviously, it's the beautiful women. It's the friendliness of the people. It's the healthiness of the food and the environment. So in any event, I just wanted to just kind of give my brief thoughts on those things. And I'll probably tag BGS, maybe Edward Anderson, Pablo Frescobar, and Art Newstall, basically to just, that's kind of what I've gathered from what a lot of brothers have been saying. In any event, I'm going to jump off here and get to open my shop and have an awesome day. That's my plan. I hope that's for you as well. And so I'll just say, fala com você mais tarde. Talk to you guys later. This is your man, Larry the Brazilian, American Brazilian, Larry the Brazilian, soon presidency. Larry the American Brazilian saying, até breve, é verdade. I got some color in my é verdade. I got yellow, I got green, and I got blue. Talk to you guys later.